Oh, that's actually slightly unfortunate. I did not intend to do that there. That's that's ever so slightly better. Uh, go out. No, excuse me, but I need you to not connect to that. So, if you ever wondered why I was carrying around copper cables, that would be why. There we go. Oh gosh, get rid of all that sugar. So much sugar. So much sugar. Hello, manure. Welcome. Welcome, manure. I think all my robots have already taken the manure to the request. But yeah, there we go. The poop shall flow to the mall. And then from the mall to the bus. Until I eventually replace everything on the bus with other production zones and everything becomes completely superfluous and no longer required. Oh, that also means that I don't have to worry about the cage shenaniganry from the mall either. Yeah, that can stop now, thanks. I mean, the only cage-ish shenaniganry would be from Vraux, but that's not operating right now. Otherwise, yeah, nothing involving cages is going on the bus anymore. That's that done. What is next? I now need. Well, I want to carry a few extra augs in my vehicle, my crawdaddy. Just in case. Oh, hello, thingy. That's what you decided to do there, huh? Alright. So I'm just gonna grab a couple of stacks to put in the vehicle wherever that ended up. Where did I leave my vehicle this time? Probably somewhere. Oh, there it is. Probably somewhere. Very, very specific of me. Let us get to the vehicle, which is up in the belts. Hello. Take those, thank you kindly. While I'm here, I'm not going to forget to also grab some uh, tar extractors to put into the crawdad, because if you remember from the last stream, as I was going to set up the dedicated wood production, I mentioned, hey, I forgot to bring tar extractors with me to make my ash, so that will be required. I only need like 3, but I don't like running out of them. Alright, so what is next? I am heading off to the... I guess it's upgrade time for you. There you go. Congratulations, you are upgraded. Some of these lines don't even need to exist anymore on this bus. I am somewhat happy and also somewhat sad. Eventually, we may actually be completely deleting the main bus, but I don't know. I think remnants of the bus will remain throughout. We shall see. So I'm going over to the like Mukmo Ulrich area so I can reroute the manure there. That's one of the most important areas with this new auog setup. It gives me the opportunity to switch away from the augs and rely more on the muckmo manure. Now, am I producing enough manure from my muckmo for everything in the base? I think I am at the moment, but we shall see over time. As I had said in previous, this can be scaled. I need to adjust these 540 down to the like 170 something that it actually needs to be now that it has been rebalanced. But once I cut down on these, I can copy and paste this whole setup here wherever else I want to make manure. So, as I had said, these don't need to exist anymore, but I do need the manure. I don't need the buildings either. Obviously, I don't need the buildings. Explosions! Ba-ding! And no, I am not going to add another piece to the train station for this. That sounds like a terrible idea. Hey, we can make something that actually looks nice now with the extra underground length on these. That actually looks nice. Very, very nice indeed. So I do not want to siphon this line, because this line is our feedback to keep everything flowing. This is our, like, a feedback loop situation here. I need manure for the food for the animals that make the manure. So I need some manure fed back, and I shouldn't siphon that at all. So there we go. There's the manure being fed in. Don't need any of that. And as I had said, I also then don't need any of the infrastructure that feeds that either. So no need for any... Oh, right. No need for the moss, because all the moss went to that. All of the CO2 went to the moss. All of the CO2 is being made out of biomass. All of the biomass here was for that, but I do get biomass out of this for the release. Yeah, I think we're okay. This was just extra biomass, so I don't... By not having the need for any of this anymore, I'm pretty sure it's fine. Yeah, because I'm not doing, like, the CO2 wood here. Yeah, I think it's good. As is, without any more tweaks. Of course, there are tweaks that can be made. There are still, of course, tweaks that can be made. But any tweaks that can be made is probably not going to happen until if there is a change to the size of Ulrichs, which I am expecting that there will be a change to the size of Ulrichs at some point to update them, make them look more pretty, because suffice it to say that the current graphical fidelity, even like just sheer resolution of the images for the buildings is higher now than it was for the older buildings. So a lot of the older Pyquil processing stuff, which Ulrichs are from coal processing originally, have noticeably lower resolution. I can see a lot of jaggies on the actual creatures here. Lots of jaggies from it being a low resolution versus the newer buildings that have a lot fewer jaggies. It's not as noticeable on the jaggies here. I expect my screen to have some jaggies, like, unless you are like 4K on your graphics, or 2K in my instance. I run a higher resolution monitor, so it stretches the things a little bit bigger. But they are noticeably better than the older ones, so we shall see as things change. Now, that was my alarm for the halfway point for the stream. So it is now officially time to take a brief break. And when I return from the break, I will head up to the sugar, the 2 for a sugar build, to repair that auog build. And once I have repaired that auog build for the sugar, because those need to be caged augs for the bones, then I will go back and we will work on our wood factory. Because that was the whole point. I'm making a wood factory. That's like the plan currently, is wood factory, and then moondrops, and then Renea, and then getting like the cotton gut build going with the upgrading of the Mark II stud stuff. So that is the plan going forward. We're just having to do these adjustments because Pi decided, oh hey, let's upgrade this today and change this and make the building bigger and all that. So I will be back in a few minutes. And I have returned. Welcome back. Okay, let's get over to the 2-fruit build. 2-fruit with sugar, so that I can repair the augs that exist up there. That is the plan. The current plan. Wherever the thingy actually is, way up there. I knew it was in the north somewhere. Seems I can just follow my train tracks and I should get there just fine. Another gentle reminder, in case you haven't seen Crawdaddy. The Crawdad is completely immune to taking damage by impact. Meaning that standard biters do nothing to the Crawdad with their little impact attacks. The spitters will do damage, though. But also, importantly, impact by train does not damage the Crawdad. So, yeah, it is completely safe to ride on the rails with the Crawdad. And the Dingrito, or whatever the heck it's actually called, that comes after this. And then you don't have to worry about the Phaediasis, because that one's flying. That one, it flies. My inventory, it be full. So I obviously need like one extra space compared to normal. There, that should give me the extra space. It's not a giant lobster, it's a crawdad. There is a distinction in scale. So, actually, this makes me think of... I'm playing a lot of Animal Crossing New Horizons right now. Like, a lot. A lot. A lot. And you can fish, and you can catch crawdads. And the joke that comes out every time you catch a crawdad is it's either a crawdad or I'm a giant and it's a lobster. So scale, right? It's a distinction in scale, primarily between crawdads and lobsters. Crawdads are fun. They are basically just mini lobsters, right? It's a giant crawdad, so maybe we should just call it a lobster. Not so much giant lobster. What would be a giant lobster? No, a giant crawdad. Lobster. Sure. I would be okay with this. Maybe. So the change here that's going to happen is, well, I need to get... I need to move all of the inserters here, but... and, you know, get alternate root of power. I also need to move this line. I need to move this line of belt. This saves me having to pick up all that stuff on the other two belts by doing it in this manner. Yes, stuff things. My inventory is full, oh noes! Is it actually? Probably not. Probably not. All this goes straight to trash slots anyway, so... It's like, hey, your inventory's full. No, it's not. It's going straight to trash. But we need a free slot before for a frame before it goes into the trash. Okay. No, the game does not go sending your the stuff you pick up straight to your trash slots. No, it has to first live for a brief second in a slot in the inventory before it then goes to the trash slots, which is a shame that has to be the implementation. But that just has to be the implementation. So we had 16 here, I only need 8. And in fact, I would normally only have enough augs to feed 8. Because, hey, guess what? The amount that we held before was 3 per building, with twice as many buildings as we need now, and they held twice the module slots as the old buildings, so it should be the exact same amount of modules as before, despite, well, because of half the buildings. What am I even doing? Control paste, I have somewhere in here. That! Yes, that is what I can do. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow, it's almost as if it was designed to be of similar length. It's bigger width, but it's, I think, the exact same length. Ish. Not completely exact, but similar. Yeah, you also need stuffs. Huh? Oh, wrong recipe. Right, you were doing that. That's the recipe. Yeah, not making food here. Not doing the food recipe. Yeah, and cages, right? There should be... There's a cage. Hey, we have a cage. What happened to all of the cages? Excuse me? But I should be importing cages. Cages? Cages. Request. Cages. Cages. Alright, so some update, obviously, with Train Supply Manager broke things. Because that was not broken before. Something with TSM has broken. I should not have to go and redo this. See, now it's bringing the train over. Like, really? Why did I have to do that? Do I have to do that on literally everything? Is absolutely nothing being, like, moving besides the ones that I've manually redone now? Well, I see we've got this filter one was obviously doing a thing. What trains are actively moving? There's the Coke train is working fine. Why is it like these random trains that are just not doing their job? Do not understand these things. Anyway, that's that fixed. Technically, theoretically, fully fixed. The cages shall flow again, and we'll have our production of bones for the sugar. Because you need bones for sugar. Obviously, you need bones for sugar. Obviously, you need bones for sugar. So for any of those vegans out there, be careful with the sugar. Be careful with the sugar that you choose to consume. Because there may have been bone as part of that process of making that sugar. Yeah, it's like, what do you think we'd actually have sugar cane? The sticks of sugar that exist to make sugar? Nah. Nah, we're making potato sugar. Also, for those not aware, there are many ways of making sugar. Many ways of getting sugar. Potatoes is an older method for sugar production. Potato is one of the older methods, I think. Definitely pre-sugarcane. More difficult as well. Also less sweet overall. But it is a thing that exists. Right. Hey, it is a good thing that I was out here. Because this completely slipped my mind that this was a thing that would happen. Do I have a way of dealing with this right now without having to go pick anything up? I don't think so. I do have I do have a DDC here, so what I can do is set this to make fuel oil and switch that back to crude. And then, yeah, I'll just let these consume the stuff and then fill it with fuel oil. And that should not have any issues anymore. Theoretically, we shall see if the fuel oil can get all the way out here. It still might not be quite enough. I guess I'll find out. I don't think it's quite enough. It's better. It's better than before. How many is this? 20. A full line of 20. Now we're down to 2 flashers. We're down to 2 flashers. We're down to sort of 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. On the thingy, and then and we're good. And we're good. And these actually aren't. These are overproducing on Steam. Okay. Sure. Green lights here are what's important. So that I'm constantly in production of this, and this should, yeah, flow. This should fill back up again. That is better. Better. Not perfect, but better. Because this is producing 100 per second per cycle, but in this case it's per second. And then this is making 50 per second on the fuel oil. Because it's half the crude into fuel oil. Fuel oil is a 800 kilojoules. So 20 times 1.8 is 36 megawatts needed. Divide that by 0.8 for 800, and we need 45 per second of fuel oil to get all 20 of these operational. So, technically speaking, this is enough fuel oil. This is enough fuel oil to feed all 20. By a whole 5 extra units. Yes, it's enough plus 5 per second of fuel oil production. I am happy that I noticed that, because that would have been bad had I ran out of tin at some point in the future, in the distant future, considering I still had 400k in this warehouse of tin. I was just starting to reduce in the warehouse here, I wouldn't have actually seen any impact on this warehouse emptying for about 100-ish hours, give or take. Who do you think I am? I don't set alarms. Why would I do alarms? No. I don't set alarms. Who needs alarms? I don't need alarms. I saw the thing. I saw the problem. And I fixed it. I don't need an alarm to tell me that there's a problem there. My own ramblings back and forth have managed to tell me that there was a problem there. My own excursions have informed me. Oh hey, sugar flows again. Yay. The sugar be moving. And this is sitting at the depot right now. I guess I have enough at the mall. Okay, I think we are officially done with our AUG shenanigans. I do have the Mark II Tufra. The Mark II Tufra are flowing. They are flowing, and I can technically do the upgrades to the Mark II modules. That I can technically do now. Because I think I should have enough produced now. Where was that again? Here. This one. I've got 730 of them. 740 now of the Mark II Tufra modules. So that is flowing. That is absolutely flowing. In fact, what I'll do is I will copy that. Excuse me. Oh, fluids, right. Duh. Didn't you need like 1,500? Well, it depends. So I have 154. And then what's the Mark II plantation count? Is it 10? Then yes, I would need 1,500. Otherwise, if these stayed Mark 1s, it would be in the 700 range. So I guess I have about half of what I need if I wanted to upgrade to Mark II buildings over there as well. But even then, how many Mark II buildings have I built of the Tufra plantations? I have 6. I have 6 of 156, or whatever that number was, 154. 6 whole buildings at Mark II. So that's obviously not going to happen. Hello, train. Hello, train! Greetings! Yeah, very close. Just a few more and we're good. Bonk. I find this extremely hilarious every time. Just bonk. Come on, you can do it. Oh, you went and moved. Oh, here's a, oh, didn't bonk.